Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Arpit. I make videos about living in Boston, about lifestyle in Boston, and in general videos about my life. So welcome back to another video. In today's video, if you can't tell what it's gonna be about, let me give you a hint. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about matcha versus coffee. So first, I'm going to be telling you about my favorite coffee grounds and my favorite matcha powder, which you can buy anywhere to make coffee or matcha at home. Then I'm going to be giving you an insight to what I buy if I want to buy some artisanal products to drink at home that are not from a cafe, but actually from Trader Joe's. And last but not the least, and you have to stick out for it, we're going to make a dirty matcha latte. So it's going to be a drink that's mixed with matcha and coffee. Now, it's not something I invented. I've actually seen it online, but I've never tried it before. But I want to try it with you guys. So we're going to be making it together at the end and drinking it. And sort of along the way, you know, guys, discuss what's good about coffee, what's good about matcha, and everything in between. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the coffee. So I get my favorite coffee from a local store, and this is the coffee that I'm talking about. It is the Equal Exchange Fairly Traded coffee. If you can see here, the roast that I get is the French roast. If you can see the sign here, it says whole bean, but I grind it myself at the coffee shop. It's actually not a coffee shop, it's a local grocery store. So I grind it myself at the local grocery store. The grinder lets me choose, basically, I think I've put it in a couple of videos before, it lets me choose what setting I want. Because I make coffee at home using French press, I have it grounded, or I grind it myself at the coarsest setting, and it gives me really coarse grounds which are perfect for a French press. The problems with really fine grounds in a French press is that when you press it, it's gonna come up in the water, so your coffee is all gonna be like filled with grounds. So you want coarse grounds, so when you actually press it, it stays down. But besides that, I just love French roast. I've always loved French roast. If you look at the dark to the light scale, it's kind of like a dark roast. Dark roasts usually have less caffeine, but they're more full-bodied. Like, I love that about dark roast. To me personally, dark roast taste less like tangy, they taste less like caustic, they taste more like full-bodied, rich, chocolatey. That's why I love dark roast, and this is definitely my favorite coffee. So if you ever come across the Equal Exchange whole beans or coarse grounds organic roast coffee, do get it. I can still smell it from the pack, and the aroma is just like amazing. So you need to get it and try this coffee for sure if you're brewing coffee at home. The second product I want to talk about is the matcha powder. So I am not too picky about the matcha powder. When I was starting to get into matcha, I looked online and it was like, you know, you should get this matcha, and this matcha is from like this island in Japan, and they pick the teas like bare hands, naked or something. It was too much information, so I just decided to go to Whole Foods and get this organic matcha powder. 365 is Whole Foods in-house brand. It's really affordable. So this is the matcha powder I get. I have actually tried a few different matcha powders myself and at a few different cafes and stuff, and I can genuinely tell you that I can't tell a difference between really expensive matcha and this matcha. Maybe I'm not experienced enough, which could totally be the case, but this is the matcha powder I usually get. I actually made a video a while back comparing coffee versus matcha, and I got a bunch of very weird responses on that video, saying that I don't know how to make matcha, blah blah blah, and like I have no respect for matcha, things like that, like things that were really bizarre comments, which I still fail to understand. But as far as this is concerned, I follow what's written on the directions at the back, and it literally just says stir 1 teaspoon of matcha powder into 8 fluid ounces of water or your favorite plant-based milk. So that is what I do. I usually mix it in a mason jar, or I shake it in a mason jar until it's mixed. I don't do anything fancy with my matcha. I also mix it with hot water, so it is actually dissolved. I don't taste the granules or anything of matcha. Matcha is a very fine powder to begin with. But as far as like matcha is concerned, this is my favorite matcha. So at the end of the video, I'm gonna be French pressing this coffee and then making matcha and mixing them together to make the dirty matcha latte. So you have to stay in tune for that. Now I'm going to be telling you about my favorite products that I get if I want to have some canned or bottled coffee or matcha at home. So the first product I get is from Trader Joe's. It's their organic cold brew coffee. It's nitrogen infused with organic espresso. I love espressos. I love anything like iced Americanos, things like that. So for me, this is perfect. Also, this is really amazing because this is a Nitro brew. I think the price for this was at maximum $2 at Trader Joe's, or like $1.69, something like that. If you buy a Nitro brew outside at a cafe, it will for sure cost you anywhere about $4 to $5. So I love this because it's literally, you can crack it open like a Nitro brew and then drink it. So I'm going to show you now how to use the Trader Joe's Nitro cold brew at home. So what you're going to do is take a glass tumbler like so, take a fat ass ice cube, put it inside the tumbler, and then pour the glass drink vertically on top of that ice cube. What you'll see is once you pour the drink vertically, it'll start rising like a true Nitro cold brew. I'm showing you here that there are actually Nitro cold brew bubbles in the drink, and you can see it sort of frothing up like a mild beer, and the drink actually tastes delicious. So I have the drink with me right now and I'm tasting it. To be honest, I've tasted it a lot of times before, and to me, at home, get a Nitro cold brew like this for the price that it is. I think it's around $2, like I said before. Super delicious. Definitely a must-have if you're avoiding going to the cafe or going outside, but you want a really good Nitro cold brew at home. So the second product I want to talk to you guys about from Trader Joe's as well is their Matcha Green Tea. So this again I love because it's a very small can. I think it's 245 mils. It says, I don't know what that is in fluid ounces, but it's literally this cute little matcha unsweetened tea with 0 calories. On the can it says we use only premium tea leaves and pure Japanese matcha in our brewing, so with each sip you'll get a bold, smooth flavor. Pick up a can and enjoy. So it's pretty simple. It's canned, unsweetened, like I said, and I usually just crack them open. I like to drink them chilled, like kind of like a soda or whatever, chilled soda if you will. They're not carbonated, but the drink is really delicious. So literally just so simple and sweet, and you know, sip on it like you would a cold drink. And these are especially really delicious for the summer because it's so hot in the summer. These are so small, the cans, they're so easy to carry and crack open, and actually you're drinking not soda but something that's good for you, beneficial for you, filled with antioxidants, and it's going to give you energy and not like make you crash like, you know, too much sugar or something. So in the final part of the video now, I wanted to show you my recipe of a dirty matcha latte. So basically what we're gonna do is French press my coffee, make a latte, but we're also mixing some matcha into it, some cream and some honey up top, and we're gonna enjoy it. So stay tuned for that and let's get that brewing. So the dirty matcha latte is very simple. What you're gonna do first is brew your coffee like you normally would. So what I'm doing here is making my French press coffee. So I'm adding my grounds to my French press. I'm adding my water and I'm gonna let the coffee brew for 20 minutes. Now you can definitely replace this with, like, if you have an espresso machine, make a 1 or 2 shot of espresso. If you're doing a pour over, just do that. However you make coffee, that's totally fine. Just make the coffee at home like you usually do. Now for my French press, before I press the coffee down, it's actually going to sit for at least 15 to 20 minutes. So in that time, we're going to make the matcha. What I'm going to do for the matcha is take 1 tablespoon of matcha, pour in really hot water. Now I don't have a fancy stirrer, so what I do is usually take a spoon and whisk it really hard till I make sure it's actually completely dissolved, and you're going to set that aside. So now, just like we did before, you're going to take a fancy glass tumbler, put in those big cubes of ice, and then pour over your coffee till about the halfway mark, and then pour in your creamer or your milk or whatever you like to put in your coffee. What we're going to do right after this is, once it's halfway full, we're going to pour in our matcha on top. And to flavor it up top, you can add some honey, squeeze in some honey on top, drizzle some honey, and then the dirty matcha latte is ready to be enjoyed. And it's so delicious, and it has both the yumminess of coffee and matcha and both of their goodness, because both of them are really good for the body. So you can sit down and enjoy this drink. So if you guys saw, I just finished making my dirty matcha latte, and now it's time to try it. I actually don't make it very often. Taste testing it, it's really unique because I can't really taste the coffee. I think I taste matcha, a little more than I do coffee, which is weird. I would have never thought that the taste of matcha would have overpowered the taste of coffee, but it certainly does to an extent. It's very easy to drink. One part of me was like, this is probably gonna be really not delicious, like not drinkable, but this is actually very drinkable. And I think the funniest part is the color, because the color even has like a mixture of matcha and coffee, so it has taken this like dirty, like I said, I think that's the name, the dirty color, like a swampy water color. That's what the color looks like to me, but the taste is actually really good. If you add more milk or more of agave syrup, you can definitely make it even more unctuous and delicious. So for me, I actually really like this. Will I make this again? I think I definitely would. It's sort of like a vibe, it's a moment. You can sort of enjoy this sitting outside in the sun or sitting by the window and, you know, just like have your specialty drink and enjoy the day. It actually tastes really good too. I hope you get to try the coffee or the matcha that I showed initially in the video, or the 2 Trader Joe's specialty drinks that I showed later. I would say definitely try this swampy little dirty matcha latte when you get time. It's really delicious. You will not be disappointed. So I hope you guys like this coffee versus matcha video, the sequel. If you like this video, please share it with your friends who like to drink coffee or matcha. Please like and comment, what do you like more, coffee or matcha? Or if you get to try this dirty matcha latte, I would love to know your comments. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next week with another video. Till then, stay tuned and stay happy. Bye.